Sometimes in crypto, it feels like certain projects disappear from the spotlight only to come roaring back when the market heats up. Cardano is one of those names. It's been doubted, debated, and even ignored at times, but it keeps building quietly in the background. If you're holding 8,427 ADA right now, you might be wondering what all of that could be worth by 2026. Today we're going to break it down, look at where Cardano stands in the market, and run the numbers on what your bag could be worth in the next year. But before we continue, I just want to quickly mention that if you're looking for a reliable place to trade crypto, I personally use WEEX. It's got deep liquidity, super low fees, and a huge range of coins. Right now, you can claim up to $30,000 in sign-up bonuses and trade with up to 400x leverage. Best part? No KYC is required. Use the link in the description to sign up and claim your bonus today. So let's start with the basics. At the time of recording, ADA is trading at around 82 cents, with a market cap of roughly $30 billion and a circulating supply sitting at around 36.5 billion tokens. That means your 8,427 ADA are currently worth about $6,900. Not bad at all, but the real excitement comes from imagining where this could go by 2026 if things align in Cardano's favor. Cardano has always marketed itself as a different kind of blockchain. Instead of rushing upgrades or chasing hype, the team behind it focused on peer-reviewed research, a slow and steady rollout of features, and a scientific approach to building out a decentralized ecosystem. Over the years, that has led to some criticism, with people saying Cardano moves too slowly compared to rivals. But that same deliberate pace has also earned it a reputation for stability and long-term vision. The project's proof-of-stake mechanism, Ouroboros, has been proven secure and energy efficient, making ADA one of the greener blockchains on the market. Smart contracts were introduced with the Alonzo upgrade, and right now, the focus is on scalability through what they call the Basho era. That means improvements in throughput, side chains, and making the network more robust for mainstream adoption. The next phase, Voltaire, is all about governance and treasury systems, which could make Cardano one of the most decentralized, community-driven platforms in crypto. So what does this mean for price? Well, Cardano has had its ups and downs. It reached over $3 in the last bull run, only to retrace heavily in the bear market. Today's price of 82 cents reflects both the broader market recovery and renewed optimism. Whales have reportedly been accumulating hundreds of millions of ADA, and analysts are eyeing the $1 mark as the next key psychological level. If ADA can break through and hold above that, momentum could carry it much higher heading into 2026. Let's run through some price scenarios. In a conservative case, if ADA simply climbs back to $1, your 8,427 tokens would be worth about $8,427. That's not life-changing, but it's still a solid increase from today. In a more moderate scenario, let's say ADA makes it to $1.50. At that level, your bag would be worth roughly $12,641. That's almost doubling your current value in just a year's time. Now let's consider a bullish scenario. If ADA hits $2 by 2026, your 8,427 tokens would be worth about $16,854. That would represent a major gain compared to where things stand today. If we push things further and assume ADA reaches $3, which is close to its previous all-time high, your holdings would be worth around $25,281. That's nearly 4 times what they're worth today. And if Cardano really shocks the market and pushes to $5, then your bag would be worth about $42,135. At that point, ADA would need a market cap well over $100 billion, which is ambitious, but in a bull market with strong adoption, it's not outside the realm of possibility. What will determine whether these scenarios play out? First, the pace of ecosystem development. Cardano has been building out its DeFi presence, NFT marketplaces, and even experimenting with real-world asset tokenization. The more use cases that launch on Cardano, the more demand there is for ADA. Second, governance. With the Voltaire era, ADA holders will have a direct say in how treasury funds are allocated and how the chain evolves. This could set Cardano apart as one of the most community-driven networks in crypto. Another factor is staking. Cardano already has one of the largest staking communities in the world, with millions of ADA locked up across thousands of pools. This reduces the liquid supply and provides consistent rewards to holders. If institutional products like staking-based ETFs or ETPs gain traction, they could bring even more capital into the ecosystem. Technical analysis also plays a role. Right now, ADA has strong support in the 79 to 80 cent range, with resistance near 95 cents. Breaking above $1 and holding it would likely trigger more FOMO buying. From there, $1.50 and $2 become the next logical targets. The higher ADA climbs, the stronger its psychological presence becomes in the market. But let's be real, the risks are also there. Cardano has been criticized for being slow to roll out dApps compared to chains like Solana. If adoption doesn't accelerate, the price may struggle to move beyond modest gains. Token unlocks, regulatory headlines, and overall market sentiment will also heavily influence where ADA goes in the short term. That said, Cardano has a massive, loyal community. It has weathered multiple bear markets and continues to innovate. If we enter a strong bull cycle, ADA could very easily revisit its highs and maybe even surpass them. So to recap, your 8,427 ADA are currently worth around $6,900. If ADA hits $1, they'd be worth $8,400. At $1.50, about $12,600. At $2, nearly $17,000. At $3, around $25,000. And if we ever see $5, that would mean over $42,000 for your holdings. As always, none of this is financial advice. The crypto market is highly volatile and unpredictable. Prices can swing dramatically based on news, regulations, and market cycles. Always do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. But the numbers speak for themselves. Even modest growth in Cardano could mean a significant increase in value for your 8,427 ADA by 2026. The question now is whether Cardano can continue to build, attract developers, and position itself as one of the leading smart contract platforms in the world. If it does, your bag could be worth far more than it is today.